Hello, hi there. Welcome to the podcast Womenhood Tech. This is the honest talks with women professionals where we inspire and empower each other. And this is your host Lisa and my new guest today, Masha Katsan, UI UX designer at FlixBus. Please welcome Maria.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. You see that this time we're actually recording in the daylight. Maria, you do UI UX design. I'm so interested to hear how your ordinary day looks like. What you do professionally.
Thanks so much, Lisa. Maybe first I will shortly introduce myself. So my name is Maria or Masha. I'm originally from Ukraine, Odessa. I have been living in Berlin for the last 5 years already. And for the last 3 years, I've been working as UI UX designer in FlixBus. So my main responsibility is iOS app. If you have ever traveled with FlixBus and use our iOS app, so most probably you have something that I have worked on, researched and prepared. And how my ordinary day look like, honestly, every time it's slightly changing, but I think every day I have a bunch of meetings with different people, stakeholders, different teams, my teams or other teams, and so on. And I need to align. Sometimes I'm joking that my cat, he's a senior meeting listener.
The cats definitely support us when we are having like a lot of calls during the day, yes. Right? And so you have the favorite part of your job and maybe least favorite.
Yes. So my favorite part of the job is UX research. It's kind of surprised for me because when I moved to Berlin, I had literally zero experience with UX. Even when I joined FlixBus, I had super basic experience with UX. But now that is my favorite part. Whenever I have some unmoderated study in user Zoom or moderated interview with our users, it's always driving me and inspiring me. What is our direction, what to do with app.
So the UX research is definitely something that you're really passionate about. And do you have anything else that you're like feeling? If you do something that day, anything UI design, business analysis, or just like meetings with cool people that would make your day brighter?
I like the day when my team is deploying some feature which I worked on really hard. Even like right now we are working on some feature which I worked in September last year. It's honestly, only right now we start working on it, even if it was for a long time in our roadmap. Yeah. And now when I see how it's coming to life, I'm like, yeah, finally, it's something that I was super happy and passionate about.
Wow, that sounds amazing. It's like when you work hard to create something digitally and then finally it's coming to life. I bet it's a great feeling.
It's kind of says that I need to wait for it for half a year. It's another part of the job right now, which kind of demotivate me a lot. So I have a huge backlog. But at the same time, when something like this is coming to life, I'm like,
finally. Yeah. And like each designer has definitely favorite tasks and kind of the least favorite tasks. Do you also have ones?
Yes, I call it corporate American culture.
Okay, right.
I think because we're both Ukrainian and we talk even 5 minutes ago in Ukrainian language, we were honest with each other and we were direct with each other. And whenever I need to talk with my colleagues, I got feedback a couple of years ago that I'm so rude with my colleagues. And then my agile coach explained, Masha, just start formulating super long sentence. It's like in English you need to like speak 20 extra words to say it politely, and I accept it, and it's really hard. And sometimes whenever you have a call with manager is talking, hey, please translate it. What do you mean? Whenever this corporate American you need like to say 5 sentences instead of 2 words, it's still super hard for me. And I'm kind of glad that now we can use ChatGPT to translate this language and write better texts.
So that sounds like a bit of a corporate language that you have to use. So things like we have to do that and that to impact that and that, or I'm inclined to say. And do you also feel that there's kind of extra layer to something that you would say more directly, but you have to say that in exact corporate way so that you would be taken more seriously and your words would make greater impact?
Yes, for sure. And you know what? I had some issue. I was directly with my colleagues and I didn't like something. I directly just say, hey, I don't think that it could work out or something like this. And it was also the problem whenever you don't like something, again, say it not in one sentence, but say it like, I know from my previous experience, it's not and say it as long as possible. I think I'm struggling with this also because all of the meetings, it could be an email or it could be 15 minutes a meeting, but because you need to be polite and kind to everyone. But I don't think that is kindness. No, it's not a kindness. It's just politeness, yes.
It also sounds like it's not only about being polite, but also have to show as a person who cares for other people's opinions. Yes. But at the same time, you want people to get your opinion, to accept your opinion. And it's definitely the struggle, like how would I sound professionally, but also please to take my point. Maybe you also have the experience that with the colleagues coming higher with their titles, so somebody that is trying to convince you with that corporate language.
Yeah, I think that is my every 2 weeks one-on-one with my managers. What I really, really like about FlixBus, we have so many different colleagues around the globe. We have total international team. I think in my team there is different nationalities and it's so cool. And whenever you're not accepting these rules, it's just like making it harder for others people who get used to these rules.
Those are the little tricks and part of the culture of the bigger company, like FlixBus. Do you feel like that using the ChatGPT or whatever AI model there enhanced your language?
For sure. I used for a long time Grammarly and I'm still using it, but I need a free vouchers. I'm trying to get to the events in Berlin and get those vouchers. I'm using the software, but honestly, ChatGPT, it's a little bit better right now, specifically in rewriting, like, please write a polite message to my colleagues, don't reschedule my meeting for the second time, or something like this, or not be late, how to say it politely in English.
I mean, that's a great use case for the ChatGPT or other AI model. Yeah. It's not like the model would overshadow you, but rather just like enhance and help you out.
Yeah. First of all, we are not allowed to use AI with some business information in FlixBus. ChatGPT, we are forbidden. We are allowed only Copilot. But if you have ever used Copilot, it's just trash, honestly. It's just not working properly. When I was preparing for this podcast, I was like, oh, how do I use ChatGPT? I'm like, how I'm using? I can open you my ChatGPT, like create salads for the week. So prepare meal. So what else? I use it sometimes whenever I have conflicts with someone. I try to use ChatGPT, explain how I behave, provide feedback, something like this, but I don't use it specifically for work. I use it for writing messages, yes, but it's nothing super crucial information, and I try to use it for UX research. I'm kind of scared of what data it could use not in my favor or my company. So I'm like, okay, I will use in this case Copilot, but Copilot is so shitty. Whenever I need to analyze survey, I'm just doing still slightly manual, sadly. But yeah, I hope one day company will accept that it's nowadays futures and you need to use it. Your colleagues your employee need to use it. Yeah. And you know what I wanted to share with you? So this situation happened with my husband during one of all hands on his job. He is senior front-end developer, and during one of his all hands, one of the CEO presented like, hey, you know what happened for the 2 days? We bought AI which rewrote the huge part of outdated code only in 2 days. And my husband, he's working on something similar for almost 3 years already, and he hates it. Also for developers, it's just like nightmare.
I also think that ChatGPT AI models overall can have not exactly positive impact, or rather negative, for front-end developers more than for designers. It seems like designers can also use it as a cool assistant that won't be definitely in charge of decisions. You still, as a designer, remain in the driver's seat, but you can get informed quicker and better with the help of AI tools, and scale out your ideas maybe faster with the visualization AI tools. In general, I hope that everybody who listens to that podcast and you, Maria, still feel empowered as a designer, although the AI is there.
Yeah. I'm not scared of AI, to be honest, but I think how it's shifting the industry. And have you heard about the situation with Klarna?
No.
They laid off a lot of people a couple of years ago or 1 year ago, and they fired really cool employees, super cool guys. I know some of them. Couple months ago, I saw on TechCrunch article about a CEO saying we lay off a lot of people. Yeah, and now they're replaced by AI. It's kind of what is happening in our industry right now. So companies just want to save money and try to use AI instead.
Still, the big question is: would AI replace qualified and experienced people who can be the decision makers and have a good impact as of now, or is it like a rather the panic, like a psychological effect that like, okay, there is AI, shift to AI, lay off some people, save some money for the company, but in the long term, that might be actually a very bad decision.
I just think that nowadays we need less people, specifically because of AI, and as you said, we need someone who is making decisions. And maybe for a long time, one of my issues, I was super scared to make this decision, but now I understand that until I will do this decision and push this decision and track how it's impacting the product, I wouldn't be so valuable for my company. And AI, it couldn't do specifically this work because it's just like trying to predict. It's not this type of AI you need to be scared of being killed yet.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next 10 years. Yeah.
That's why I put your please and be polite with the ChatGPT.
I think we need to adapt AI in our work. So for me, whenever I talk to some colleagues who doesn't use it, I'm like, what? Are you from Stone Age? What? It could enhance specifically communication, but it couldn't fully fulfill IT. Something we talked previously before we started recording this podcast. Golden time of IT is over. They are cooked. Yeah. I think right now what I talk to my friends who are developers, they are also sharing like their salaries is not so increasing. They're still getting more than any of others. Besides, of course, doctors and lawyers in Germany.
I really like what you said. Kind of very good thought that should increase our self-awareness that the golden times of tech and tech companies and being a tech expert is gone.
Yes.
And now we definitely find ourselves kind of in the middle. Business, I think it doesn't need more experts than it is there. People are gotten laid off. Now we have a lot of good qualified people on the market looking for the job. And at the same time, when you're still a working designer as yourself, I bet you're also trying to find what's next in your career. And on this note, what do you think as a designer that wants to stay on the market and meet the demands of the market should do? Is there the way to get promoted, to get better on your career path?
For me right now, IT is something like our parents in Ukraine. They used to work in some factories, or grandparents
for years, for decades.
Yes,
right?
Something like this for us. Right now, IT and all of these companies, that is just like factories for our grandparents or parents, some type of job. But for our grandchildren or grandkittens, it would be so like, what are you talking about? Old ladies like IT? Was you were making money? What to do to be good at IT right now? I have no idea. Of course, it's AI, introducing AI to work and to find some ways to automate your work too. What else? I think you need to focus on decisions. That is something what I plan to do. I don't say that I didn't make any decisions. No, I use FlixBus, I use app that is my and my team decisions, mostly to be this voice of advocate of users and pushing more, and at the same time finding some business opportunities too. And right now for juniors, it's so hard to find a job.
Oh, definitely.
It's almost impossible. Like in Berlin, I have several juniors friends who finished here some courses, and for one girl for 2 years, and her portfolio is great. There is just no job for juniors. I don't think that is because of AI, of automation. There were Memorisely event, and we were talking about it. Like one guy, he's mentoring a junior, and he said it's almost impossible to do it online. Most of the people, they're like working from home, at least from my job still. It's really, really hard to mentoring junior whenever they need your help to ask you, because when I remember when my first job 7 years ago in outsourcing, I had like 3 or 4 seniors around me, and I'm like, I have a problem, who can support me? And everyone supported me, but I was super fresh and green. It's really helped. And maybe this that we are all working from home, juniors definitely need more support.
In a way, they need also the role model.
Yeah.
It's cool when you see each other as a mentor and mentee, or just a role model and somebody who is gaining their experience face to face. Online or hybrid mode, it can also take place, but definitely we are like in ad hoc everyday mentorship. In your opinion, is there any hope? Is there a future for designers who just entered the field, who are junior designers? They are looking for the job, perhaps like, let's say, in Europe, might be Germany, might be Berlin, where we are based right now, right? Did you gather like the opinion, the idea of what junior designers can do to get advanced, and what kind of future would unfold in front of them?
First, I think that there is always some hope. Yeah, there is golden time is over, but it's still like IT is not over. We still need IT product, we still need it. But there is another question, how to start your career. And what I have heard from other juniors, it's really hard right now in Germany. If you have some university background, like if you're a working student, it's a little bit easier. People are more open for it. Still, there is no so much job. It's true. And something what you need also to consider is there is super high competition. Whenever you're applying for some job, with you is applying also some middle, even senior, who want to move to Germany. At the same time, this super hard competition between people, it's also you can feel in the companies too. And you need to consider it and improving yourself.
Constantly improving yourself,
Yes.
working on your skills.
Yes.
And I guess also on selling skills, the way how you present yourself.
Oh,
like if
sure.
Right.
Sorry to say it, but when I started as junior, it was a little bit better, specifically in my country. But now in Germany, like someone providing you opportunity and work for free or for voluntary, it's also super cool. I would highly recommend to start doing anything, at least to add it to your portfolio, to your cases. And something what is working right now, referrals. For example, on FlixBus, when we had this position for juniors, our recruiters consider only referrals. Like for 1 hour, we got 300 applies, something like this. It was crazy. It was nightmare. And then our HR, they're like, okay, designers, do you have any recommendations? And yeah, we had, and that is how we found one person to our team.
Hire them. Yeah.
Referrals, that is something that is working really, really good right now.
And I just would add to that these awesome ideas of yours. In order to gain the experience as a junior designer and good feedback and referrals, you can also reach out to the startups and companies who might be not having exactly the open positions, but they just got the investment round, or you already see some UX improvements that they would use in their product, and reach out to them proactively, saying like, hey, I'm a designer, I would love to work with you and improve that and that. Perhaps you don't have the budget right now, but let's just get in touch, let's just talk about it. I definitely would get your product better. So in my own experience, I did not reach out to any German startups at the time, because also when I arrived to the German tech scene, that was the work position I was trying to fulfill. But in overall, my experience, there were companies, or rather would say like startups, that I help out with the design, because that was also the startups of closest friends of mine or friends of my friends or so on, and also my boyfriend. So it was the network that I got the job that way through. That was like more like a side project. It is the good idea, because it's all about networking and reaching out proactively to these startups, to anybody who just like maybe in the beginning of their of their business path.
It's actually super good. Thanks for sharing. It's really valuable. And you know what? In Berlin, there is mostly startups. There is not so many huge IT companies, which I was surprised when I moved to find out. Like we have N26, FlixBus, Zalando, travel guides.
Yeah.
I think we can count until 10 maximum. It's not like in Amsterdam, all of these huge American companies.
You also said about the referrals. This point is also very useful for junior designers. And the referrals can be granted only if you talk to other fellow designers, if you have a nice network, and that you can get advantage of, like in a good way. And I also know that in a way you actually host of such a cool space where people can get to know each other. So you have your own Telegram blog of Ukrainian designers where they hang out, and you were hosting the brunch of Ukrainian designers. And you just also mentioned Memorisely supported brunch for everybody, for every designer that would love to have a good evening together. Can you also talk about that a bit? Like,
I was thinking a lot about this situation. There is a bunch of free events in Berlin, and I really like Berlin product meetups. It's free events, but it's so hard to get their tickets right now. So I think for the last 3 or 4 months, I couldn't just get a ticket. Like, you need to hunt for them, like set a reminder, open the page, so on and so on. It's really hard for people.
Sounds like a Berlinale ticket.
True, but you need to pay for Berlinale tickets too. Did you manage to get some tickets?
Yeah, I mean, not me personally. I just am super lucky with one friend who's always super lucky with the Berlinale tickets, and we got a few. Cool. Those cost from 10 till 25 euros.
Yeah. I would even go to some event in Berlin if it costs 10-15 euro, it's fine. So this event, for example, Berlin Project Design Meetup, is for free, and it's usually really interesting talks. So you went to Vitaly Friedman workshops, and like last year I went to his free event in Berlin. It was super awesome. I really enjoyed and shared a lot of insights with my team. But I'm also going to these events to like networking, maybe gossiping.
Of course, I mean.
Yeah, like I know something about Zalando, like, or travel guides or else. Like, yeah, a lot of designers, they're kind of open. But there is like another side for this event. Most of the people who are coming to these events, it's juniors who are looking for a job. Or people who lost their job and they like have time to hunt for this ticket. And people with work, they're even not sure if they can go. People are coming for to meet some designers from other companies, and these designers are not coming because they are busy or they don't want. I know some people who are lying that they're unemployed. I will not say names, but I find out like this. I was talking to one guy and he said, yeah, I'm not employed right now. And then I was like, maybe you can share with me your LinkedIn. And he was like, no. And then I found him. And you know what? He's working at Zalando.
Okay.
Maybe he was fired. I don't know. But he was like, yeah, I'm unemployed. So, and my colleague said when we were at one event in Lisbon Web Summit, and she also like wrote unemployed or freelance or something like this, because she was like, yeah, I don't want to be bombarded with any messages, I just want to be chill right now. Honestly, I don't understand this. I don't understand and accept it. Sometimes it's annoying when some juniors coming to you, but from me, okay, but I will have some position in FlixBus way not to refer someone and get money. Or if someone unemployed or laid off, like one girl recently, she found a job in N26. Cool, I have like this girl in my network right now. Maybe she can refer me in the future or something like this.
Definitely don't accept people who are reaching out to you, but also do that mindfully.
Designers support other designers. It's really important. Empathy is the most important part of our job. Yep.
Yeah, when it comes to the users, but also when it comes to the fellow designers. In the current situation, many people would or already experience the lays off, and we have this strong opportunity to empower each other and to support. When it comes with the referrals, when you were talking, I also recall the way how sometimes people are reaching out to via LinkedIn and asking for, hey, I saw the position at your company, here's my portfolio, would you refer me and recommend me? me. So first of all, in general, that's a cool approach. If you would do that mindfully, if you also give something to the person you're reaching out to, definitely be polite, ask how are you doing. So I'm reaching out to you because I saw this and this, that's the reason. And then also say something which you have in common with that person. Hey, you have such extensive experience in SaaS, and I'm also doing that. Or graphic design, or motion design, whatever that be. I'm also doing that, and now I'm I'm looking for a new opportunity. I saw that the new position open. This is my portfolio. Maybe if you would have 5 minutes, I would definitely appreciate some referral or recommendation. This is the template kind of that I found interesting. The way how designers reach out to me and asking for recommendation, but there were definitely not that great messages that they did. Please do not bombard your designers with the negativity, rather saying like, hey, the market is shit, like, could you please, so you're asking for a favor. And in communication and also in a human relationship, it's very important to give something and ask for something. So just be mindful for that, and please make it sure that there would be a good reason for a person to look at your portfolio, to spend some time on your portfolio and do this recommendation. But definitely sometimes there are also situations where that won't happen, but doesn't mean that it's over. It's actually just another person in your network that you might have some encounter afterwards. Like, does it also sound something reasonable to do, Kitty?
For sure, I really like it and highly recommend it. Some people are reaching out to me like, could you refer me? And just like without any portfolio or it's kind of hard to say yes or no. This, what you said, yeah, it's definitely a better approach. Please don't use like ChatGPT for it. Sometimes when you open this like formal letter or anything, you'll see it's just fully generated by AI. Yeah, I use it also to enhance my communication skills, but whenever it's just like fully written by AI, it's also prominent and like
doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. It's like human reaching out to other humans. That's a great advice. Let us know though what you think about the referrals idea and LinkedIn and so on. Circling back to the design brunches that you hosted, I've been to a few of those. Those were really the best opportunity to networking and also make some friends, make some perhaps even colleagues potentially. What the benefits do you see in that for people that are coming to the branches or were coming? Because I know also that it is kind of on the break right now, but also for yourself. What do you find like any good in that?
So all of this idea with branches started when sadly a lot of Ukrainians moved to Berlin and start looking for a job, and they were reaching out to me and asking me for help and support with their portfolio. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then maybe we can like get some session together. And again, I'm super big fan of networking. I'm super open for it. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn. And I created this branches. I'm not sure if I have seen this idea before, because I don't think that 2 years ago it was something common. So we started only with Ukrainian community, and it was super nice. There was a lot of super cool designers who live in this time in Berlin. They came to these branches, and we had a really nice community. I think last branch was last May. I have access to WeWork or to my husband's office, and I was sitting, and I just understand that for these people would be more beneficial to have it with not only with Ukrainian speakers, also with English speakers. So for summer, I took a break, start thinking how I can increase this community for more people from the more diverse group. And like in parallel, another girl from this community, she started doing something like this, but for English community, and it worked out. It was nice, but it was definitely something that I need to stop doing. And then I saw opportunity in Memorisely. So what is Memorisely? They didn't pay for this advertisement, sadly not paid, and I also paid for their platform. So it's not sponsorship. Again, no, give us money.
That might be the opportunity.
Might be. They give me free food. I'm working for free food. Oh yeah. So yeah, Memorisely, it is like maybe you know Zach. I've always forgot his name, but for a long time he was making some super cool short video. He was making great videos about Figma, how to use it, some UI tips, and I've been following him. And then he opened his UI UX courses, so online platform where you can learn. And then they were like posted, hey, we're looking for ambassadors in these cities, and Berlin was one of the city. And I immediately opened it's my opportunity, because I know that it's really hard to find people. I can like put it on LinkedIn and maybe find a couple people with same vibe. It's really important too. One of the part of their form, it was record Loom video. It was hilarious. It was my first time recording Loom, and I was like, yeah, I start recording more Looms. No, never again. I think once for my PO, because I was going on vacation just to have notes. And I think they answered me in a couple months. They were super open, specifically about my previous experience with Ukrainian community. Oh, cool, you can do it. Last Thursday, we had this first brunch in Berlin. We were super lucky because it was also BVG strike. And the public transport was not working. It was really harsh to get to this place. For the next time, to choose some spots nearby, S-Bahn, U-Bahn, anything else public transport, because people were walking a lot. It was super cozy and the food was delicious. I cooked this Japanese potato because I stole a recipe. I like it. For me, the most interesting part, there was people from another cities. They came specifically for this event. Like, really, there was a couple from Prague, another friends from Wrocław. They came also only for this event. One woman, she's American, she lives in Copenhagen. She was like, I was actually just browsing some events. I was in the city and was like, oh, nice, interesting, Memorisely. And she joined.
How many people were there?
I think in our list there was 11 total participants, but I think one girl didn't show up.
So like 10 people.
From Ukrainian branch, this first round of introducing to everyone, it's taking hours for 10 people to introduce themselves. You need like also to ask them questions, or you have something follow up, and it took hours. And then you need like to shuffle around, like US ambassador, you need like to handle this. And I'm not the only one ambassador. I had support from my colleague, another girl who is also ambassador. It was super cozy. She recommended a super nice place which I have never heard, to be honest, Blumenthal. Highly recommend to check the menu.
And what did you talk about? I'm so curious, was it like freestyling, or did you have some specific agenda?
In our agenda there was only one point. It was introducing
yourself.
I came to this event at 6:30 and I was free 10 p.m. So 4 hours, and it wasn't boring. It was really it was freestyling. You just get to know a lot of bunch of people.
And what were those people in terms of their experience? The middle senior designers?
I'm not sure about the levels, to be honest, but most of them, they were product designer. Most of them, they were freelancers, but still it's kind of so interesting how their projects are looking like, how their process looking like. So I worked in one company for 3 years, and one girl, she was like, but this app exists for a long time. What are you doing here? Like changing colors. And I started laughing so hard because it's true. I changed recently colors in the app because FlixBus changed slightly branding, and it was hilarious, but I'm still like have a long backlog. And for her, it was like super eye-opening moment. So it could be so long working on one product, and I was like, yeah, it's evolving, and plus different countries. I really like to talk about Indian FlixBus. I'm not sure if I'm allowed. But we all live on the same planet, but sometimes experience is so different.
Super different, based also on the country you are in. Right?
In India, people they get used to call their hosts. They have hosts. In Europe, you don't have hosts. You have only driver, and people like, okay. And in India, they have hosts, and they are calling or driver or host, and like, hey, can you pick up me here? So it's just like
more like a BlaBlaCar approach.
Yes, true. Like BlaBlaCar. So yeah, it was interesting.
You mentioned the colors, like changing the colors because of the rebranding. If you also can share the way how you did that, I guess for designers would be interesting to understand whether you had the design system, was it like a few clicks and updating the main color, or was it like a bigger challenge?
No. it was a couple seconds. I wouldn't lie for my managers or PO. It was a couple seconds. Something what is not working right now good in our teams. All of icons I need to prepare separately. So there was some green icons which I need to adopt and prepare, but again, it took like a couple minutes because I know where to find them. Or I can ask my developers, hey, double check if that is all the green icons we need to change because I'm not sure. Like, yeah, but my design system sucks. I'm not good at it. And because I'm only one designer who works on the iOS app, I have this pleasure not to do it. But right now I have a new developer who is pushing so hard. I'm so grateful for him. I love him so much for this. And he's supporting me. And he can explain his background and his experience, why it's so important. Because I can do it in Figma easily. No, not easily. But if my developers are not using it, it's not beneficial for me. I find out that I have 2 different lists, like one small app and 2 different type of lists,
like a component, right? Like
or like 5 different types of checkboxes. Like, how it's happening? I will complain. I have a good when I start working in FlixBus, I had 0 design files. 0. I have no idea how it could happen, but when I came to FlixBus, my first 3 tasks for my first month, besides of all of this onboarding, it was super exhausting. I was making screenshots and redraw it. I have no idea how it happened. I didn't inherit any design. I inherited something, but it looks so weird. It was made in Sketch and then transferred to Figma, and it was terrible. For me, it was like also a good opportunity to get used to the product, to know the product better.
Getting your hands on the product,
for sure.
Redesigning or designing it from scratch.
I'm working right now on the design system, and to be honest, I'm using Memorisely platform with all of their lessons. They have kind of nice lessons, but sometimes I feel like it's so for junior. Their lessons like 5 minutes. Something useful for me could be only 2 minutes. But again, any YouTube videos, it's like taking 15-20 minutes.
Since we are on this topic of design system, and you have it as a goal, would you share with us what benefits do you see for the company and for the product to have a good and thorough design system? Also considering that the fact that it's really hard to show the benefit of design system making any money for a company. As a business, you always put the either saving the money or gaining the money first, and design system is not something like super straightforward.
Exactly. It's not making money. It's saving time. My developers were not interested in it at all. So I didn't see any benefits. And now I have a new guy who is super into it, and he, because of his experience, and he can prove it, that it's working, it's cool. I'm a designer of iOS FlixBus app, but what I didn't mention that we have also 2 more apps, Greyhound and Camel Coach. So Greyhound, that is American market, and Camel Coach, that is Turkish market. So we need to handle all of this. And I also see this inconsistency, and consistency could improve the experience. And also we have some freedom between platforms. So our iOS and Android app looks kind of different. I don't think that they must be twins. I see sometimes difference between iOS and Android users. So there is some patterns which we need to follow and accept.
And different UI components and design patterns.
But I would definitely say that this consistency that is providing better feedback experience for the customers too.
And would you say that this design system saves time and therefore money? Would you also say that it increases the efficiency of design handover and of work on engineer part?
Yeah.
And since they can move on with another task and do not care for synchronizing some part of design if there is a good design system in place, that saves their time and the company's money.
I would say for sure I will know it better when we will have something. Now we're still on some basic elements. We used to have some colors, but now we're adapting it to use it from Honeycomb. That is our main design system. We are trying to figure out how to make the component with icons better. Every super cool component of the pattern which I'm using right now, even if it's not implemented, I'm so happy about it. It's saving so much time, and I don't need detach it instance. I broke my design system idea in 3 stages. First, it is core components, so that is colors, icons,
add-ons, and then you would have molecules.
Kind of, so something super basic. Typography, grids.
Yes, design tokens.
Yes, and then foundational elements like buttons, inputs, toggles, and so on. It also could help us with all of these accessibility topics, which is really, really important for us right now. When we first hired a company for accessibility audit, they said use only native components. They are super accessible. You don't need to do anything. They are super cool. And now we are struggling a lot with native components, specifically with toggles. Every time our new companies are reporting these toggles, and we are like, it's native. Like Apple couldn't make so bad.
But overall, the initiative of design system sounds so exciting. It makes me think that since it's like ahead of you and you have the status quo right now, maybe it would be a good idea to measure the efficiency right now between designers and engineers, or also separately taking some use case, some situation that happened as a baseline, and then perhaps you can measure the change, the positive impact, but like kind of benchmark it to your baseline.
I need to come up with something how we can measure efficiency. I even was asked to do it, and I have no idea. Maybe I will use this ideas you said about this previous experience, like
before and after,
because like honestly sometimes it's really taking so much time for me to approve what developers do. And they're not doing bad job. They're just like doing
kind of like a design testing in a way.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's such a complex topic, but as a designer, it's our job, it's our responsibility to take care of those, the consistency. This part was definitely technical and for designers. I hope that was something that sparked your interest, and like coming back to the background of what you're doing apart in your job. The first thing what I learned about you was actually your Instagram blog and your Telegram blog, where you talk about the recent design discoveries and your some cool case studies. Can you share like a bit of the background of that and how it unfolds for recent years?
I think a lot of people knows me only by my cat, and they're surprised that there is some person behind.
Yeah, Marie has an awesome Maine Coon cat, and he's such a sweetie.
He would join us, but he was busy to sleep.
Let's respect his needs.
I always like to write and share, and I try to have a blog in Instagram, but to be honest, it's something what is Instagram coming to. I don't like it. Like even delete Instagram for a couple of months and haven't used it. As designer, I like to test hypotheses. I used to have just Telegram channel when I use it as dump, just send some funny videos, some funny photo of my cats and so on. So I use it like this for a long time. Start sending some content about design, some experience, some books which I read. And this hypothesis I'm still testing for 2 years. I got almost 400 followers. I think it's a lot.
Yeah. Currently it's like 400 followers on the Telegram chat and blog, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I also got some corporations, like I got some stuff for free for advertisement.
Like references where you recommend like some webinars, some courses.
Yeah. I also say a lot of no. For some, I don't know why, but I was asked like, hey, could you promote my crypto event? And I'm not writing like about it. It's not my topic. So
it's a sign that you're really becoming a blogger and people pay attention.
I'm not get paid to promote it, but I can get this stuff for free also to access this for free. I started this as test hypothesis, and I really like it. It's actually not taking so much effort. Usually just on the weekend, I have some backlog with some ideas, what I can share, what I can write. And thanks again, ChatGPT. It's not writing instead of me, mostly fixing all of my mistakes. Writing is sometimes hard for me.
Yeah, overall writing is hard. I think even for copywriters and for designers who have to write the descriptions, even like a good naming, it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah. And like I think for the next step for this Telegram channel, I want to have some strategy, because now I'm just like posting whenever I think it's interesting or what helped me, and I think people are kind of appreciate it. And I don't have a lot of ad. I think my last ad was half year ago, which is kind of also good. So feel free to join if you want to read it in Ukrainian. Also, I want to start posting more on LinkedIn too.
Definitely. And I'm going to also include the links to your Telegram blog and also LinkedIn in the description to that episode. So feel free to join. Your blog is awesome. I also really like the visuals that you have. You're giving the updates, like some news in the design industry. And you kind of also started to answer my next question. I was really wondering, like, posting something on Telegram It's kind of as an X approach, Twitter approach. When you have like a limited amount of symbols, it's not going to be a long read anyway. But there are also other ways to be explicit of and be visible when writing, like Medium articles, LinkedIn posts. And do you consider right now other options?
Yeah, I actually wrote for Ukrainian design journal, online journal, several articles. Free articles. I agree with you. Like, I don't want to pay for Telegram. I don't see any sense. I tried to pay it for several times, but no. I want to change something with my approach with social medias. I don't like Instagram. It's addictive. Telegram working nice. I had only one ad, so my channel was promoted only once, and I was super excited because of this ad. It was co-sharing. Like I recommended Alina. You know, also Alina too. Alina Korek.
This is also a great design leader and mentor, and she was a head of design. So I guess it was like a mutual collaboration.
Yeah, she recommended my channel.
And you had like 400 followers, which means that the quality of your content is hitting. So people are interested in what you're saying, what you're writing. What you said about Telegram, like just talking about channels where to be visible with the content. I just want to also like double down on that. And Telegram has the Russian roots. It is proven that the FSB agents and overall Russian agents used that channel, and sometimes the odd advertisement or the odd tracking and some surveillance might take place, and that's why, like overall, as a Ukrainian community, we consider Telegram as not the best option. Looking ahead into the future, there might be other channels to stick with.
That's why I don't want to invest in Telegram. I'm just doing like whatever I would do in my any other profiles. I'm just posting whatever I want. And I most invest on my personal brand, like maybe to start posting more on LinkedIn. I got 400 followers in Ukrainian language, and I'm like, maybe I need to increase, because I bet all of these people who are following me in Telegram, they also know English or can translate whenever I say it.
Right.
So maybe in the future, I want like to come up maybe some strategy with some vision of my brand. Maybe I can come up with something better, or even ask some brand designer to help me.
So that sounds great. With the personal branding, I can definitely recommend the cool webinar by Chris Kosik, who used to be head of innovation at the big outsourcing Ukrainian company. They are having the Field Lab online school where they post the webinars, and one of them is being on personal branding. If you're a Ukrainian speaking person, then worth to also to check out. But it's so cool that you drop that big word, personal branding. And I wonder, was the role of personal branding for everybody who's about to get a senior title, and also who wants to claim their space that way? And would you say that currently, considering the market situation, being a kind of a design star, or given some signs of that, and invested into personal branding would help you to get a cool promotion or just a cool new career opportunity?
For promotion, I would say no. So when I was trying like to share with my company, hey, I'm doing this design branches or doing this mentoring sessions, it was literally nothing factual what was interesting for my performance review. It was even skipped, like, but I think maybe it depends on the company. I know like a lot of design bloggers got a really nice job by the promotions. Like I know people in Zalando working a lot, so they're kind of open for some design bloggers to work on them, or Miro or else. So yeah, I think it could be beneficial when you're looking for a job. Or you can ask your friend to come to record podcast with you. At least that is my level of personal branding right now, to show up somewhere for free, maybe for some coffee. And cats.
Okay, maybe the promotion is a bit tricky. I wonder also, like, when you're looking for a new job, transitioning maybe to the next role, and having something like that on your CV. Hey, I'm a design educator. I'm a content maker in design field. I'm actively contributing to the design industry in my town. That sounds like a big and cool words, maybe buzzing words, but also like a great experience that the company could leverage. And would you say like it's more beneficial for the CV and portfolio?
I have no idea. Honestly, I haven't tried yet. So maybe you can share your experience later with all of this educational podcasts, how it help and support you during your looking for jobs?
Yeah, definitely. I would do so. Definitely, I was considering being more proactive in design field and increased my visibility, as that might get me a job. Also, it's fun the way how you reflect on your experience and spark maybe some meetings with cool people like you. So why not, right?
Okay.
Why not? All right. Yeah, I'm so curious about many parts of your journey. You have like a very extensive experience yourself as a designer, and you're looking ahead in the future and with the goal of getting the senior title. And I've been wondering if you can share if you have any strategy to get there.
I think I shared like a couple of months ago on my channels that I had some hard time with accepting that one of my main goal for the year failed. I really wanted to be promoted to senior position because I've been working as designer for 7 years. I know that only with UX part and product part only for 3 years, but still like it's a lot. I had several burnt outs last years, but it's not like showing that I worked hard. It's sometimes just showing that I was working on not the right things or not with the right effort. Let's be honest, in golden time of idea would be promoted. But now it's really hard to get promoted, and something what I will try this year that is not productivity, but more like making decisions, making people understand that, yeah, I made this decision.
Your way to influence, right?
Definitely more influence, more strategy part, and so on. For the last year, I took this goal like to come up with some UX metrics to track our progress because we were switching more to post-booking flow and let's focus on metrics.
Yeah, I see. Perhaps there is more clear vision of what the role should look like and what's the growth map, the competency map. I think to the situation when it's so hard to get the next title and next promotion, many people can relate. And I just want to empathize that sometimes it's less about your skills, but more about the company budget and company attitude and even your manager attitude to that. I'm also sharing that based on people that I previously talked to. Please do not give up. Please do not take it personally. The tech is just in a very turbulence times, and companies are evaluating the value of each person and designers as well. Be patient, be determined with your goals. Like, for example, you, Maria, do, because like I know that you developed the whole competency map, but you also had goals with the skills you want to polish more, and it was the whole growth roadmap for you. Right now, like reflecting back, do you think that it was like a good decision to have the roadmap for yourself?
I'm not sure that I have a roadmap. I think I have more like goals, and I'm trying like them break into quarters. It's really helping for me to track progress.
Okay, nice. Having goals, break it down into some actions to take. And I also know that the part of your usual routine and something that helps you to get into the end of the day and grow in your role is the habits. Tell us, please, what's so special with the habits?
Oh yeah, so I have a lot of habits.
That means that you're quite a determined person, and it's right with commitment.
Yeah, let's call it like this. Yeah, can you guess how many habits do I have?
Oh, I think you mentioned that in while we were preparing to the podcast. But to be honest, I forgot. I think it's like more than 10, right?
Yes,
more than 10. How much more?
Oh my god, yeah. So I have like daily habits, 18 daily habits.
18 daily habits, right? Wow, I mean, such a big commitment.
Also, besides this daily habits, I have like not every day, just per week to do something. Recurring habits. I think around the week I have around 30 habits.
Oh, that's great. What are your top, the most effective habits and how do they impact your life?
Something that I'm really proud and I'm always sharing with everyone, that is I have a 581 day strike with meditation. So every day, every morning I wake up and I meditate. I actually have a full routine, so it's helping me holding all of the habits and tracking them.
How long do you meditate for every day?
For 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah. And like a lot of things started with this popular book, Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habit.
I'm fan of minimalism, and for a long time I was avoiding to buy this pillow for meditation. But when I bought it and placed it next to my working desk, it just like I have this strike because it's helping me. Whenever before work, 10 minutes, it's not a lot.
Yeah, it's true. 10 minutes is not a lot. Yeah. It's so beneficial to dedicate those minutes to yourself, to your mental health, to your focus.
And like specifically for my job, a couple of years ago, I wrote an article about 7 habits for UI UX. I actually follow up on it. Still, I have 20 minutes per each working day I am dedicating for learning. Sometimes it's just reading a book, watching this Memorisely videos, or listening to podcasts. Oh, I had an intense meeting for 1 hour, and like I could spend this half an hour after this meeting scrolling Instagram, or I can read a book or watch some videos specifically for this.
It's either you doom scrolling on Instagram, or you actually make yourself pay attention, maybe relax while listening or reading.
And next habit is that design lecture. So a couple of years ago, I bought a subscription to the design library from Projector, and like once per week, I'm watching one video.
Yeah,
it's helping me like not to forget what I paid for.
Yeah, to get the value out of it.
And usually it's besides work or on background. Also one habit which I really recommend for every designer, specifically in some large companies, that is to have personal retro, like in the end of the week, just like on Friday evening when you're already like almost done.
In German it's like fix und fertig.
So you just write what was good during this week, what wasn't good, and how you can make it better. When I needed to fill out performance review, it helped me a lot to see my achievements.
That sounds like the technique that has just a name, the brag document, the doc where you brag about your achievements, and that's the way like you list all of them, you're aware of them, you also integrate that experience, those achievements with yourself, and sounds like as a good baseline for the performance review.
For sure, highly recommend. The next one habit that is one interview with users. I really try to have it like once per week. Like we are providing some vouchers for our customers, but there are a lot of no shows. Still, it's so nice to see how diverse our customers, how we are covering our needs or not covering at all. And some habits which I used to have, checking the App Store every Monday morning, what reviews we got, cluster them and see an overview. Right now we bought a special software for it and it's helping me, so now I do it only once per month. And also we have a bot which sending all of these reviews to us, so we are reading everything. Also my ex habit is 10 minutes checking design platforms. It's not helping me with my UI skills, and whenever you're checking drawables, it's a little bit triggering you. You see this ideal beautiful design and you understood it's not how iOS app is working for you, just like to express your skills, but it was annoying for me. And Mobin, this platform with screenshot, their free options weren't so good and I just stopped to do it.
I know like throughout last years, Mobin has grown a lot, and now they have also the screenshots and examples of A/B testing at other platforms and big companies. So I just wonder maybe right now they improved.
They definitely improved, but the free I'm not ready to pay.
Okay.
I will be honest.
Yeah.
Last year I paid for some conference, some courses by myself, and it was okay. But I don't see a sense to pay for it right now. I can just open the app and check it myself. And for me, I'm specifically interested in tickets, but they're not providing a lot of tickets of the bus companies or train companies. I'm looking for a mentor. Like I tried to collaborate with some of my colleagues, but it didn't work out. I tried to find someone, but it also didn't work. I used to have some coach. It wasn't in design industry. No, maybe I need to start paying for someone. I'm not sure, honestly. But
yeah, there are also some of mentorship platforms where it's possible to find one. But it's so interesting that you mentioned coaching. I find it quite useful when it comes to the soft skills development and presentation skills, selling skills, convincing part, methodologies, and so on. So overall, for designers, please consider the good coach. Is how to find a good coach is another story, but
no idea how to do. Actually, I had so cool experience previously. Somehow I found one really nice guy who used to work at N26. Mentorship was with him. It was like life-changing for me. I set up a goal, I achieved this goal, and I got a job. And it was just magical for me. But he's not a mentor anymore, at least I couldn't find him.
It's a good success story to share, and also for you people to consider. Something that is cool to add for junior designer journey, the mentorship, the coaching. That's definitely would boost your productivity and strategy.
And I know that you are a mentor too on the AdPlist, right?
Yeah, I'm also mentoring for almost a year right now on the ATP list platform. I started to do that, to be honest, just for reaching out to people to validate my skills, to contribute to the community practically, giving up my time for free. And I've been doing that for free for a long time. Right now, I'm trying to lean when suggesting the paid and advanced mentorship. One thing that I learned that since I'm getting good feedback from mentees, it's worth to make it paid as well, because then each side gonna feel even more valued.
Yes.
If you're scheduling a call with the mentor and they are willing to give up 1 hour and sometimes even more of their time, it means that the value should be quite comprehensive, prominent. If you pay not a lot of money, it may be like 25 euros per 2 sessions or something. It gives you the feeling that you invest in the money, and now it's time also to invest your mind and time into that as an mentee, because the mentor does the same.
Yes, for sure. I totally agree with this approach. I had not so good experience with AdPlist mentors, to be honest. So when I see such people as you as mentor, I still have a hope in it. I mentor on the Ukrainian platform when people can book mentorship with me with donation to Ukrainian army or for Ukrainian women to in tech. It's super nice because it's more for people to contribute to. And I'm not getting paid, but it's also motivate me because I know people donate this money.
And this is just another way how you support Ukrainian community.
Exactly.
And that's just awesome to hear. I want to ask you this question, which I also have some struggles with, and I think many people as well. So when setting up the habits, it's like Monday syndrome or the New Year resolution syndrome. In the beginning, you are so excited and you like believe in yourself and you're setting up a lot of habits, and then maybe a few days after or some time passed, and you feel like it's a commitment. You don't have time really, even like for 10 minutes of meditation or just for a short design lesson, because it's like tiresome to be consistent with the habits. I guess many people are gonna have like different reasons for that. But have you experienced that, and how did you manage to overcome resistance towards the habits?
It's so true. Thanks for asking. That is something that is happening with me too all the time. And you know what I understood? For example, I was sharing, I used to have this habit with 10 minutes, like checking some design platform. And then I realized, no, it's not working. And it's okay to say no. And I couldn't say that I'm so consistent, like with meditation. I'm consistent with meditation just because I like it. I enjoy it. Okay, don't consider meditation something which you will have effect super short. I have some impact on myself to understand what you want to achieve and how you would track it. Yeah. And if you see that it's not working,
or you don't like it, you simply feel resistant.
Exactly. I'm this person who is always set up timers. It's super strange to observe me. I'm always talking to my Siri. My husband get used to, but my parents are like, what is happening?
What are you doing? Why are you talking to your hand?
I remember I was cooking in my mom's kitchen, and she saw like I'm stopping timer in other language. Is there someone here?
Super funny.
So she was super surprised. Like she had no idea that you can use it. Oh, and I like collected all of this 18 daily habits that are taking like only 2 hours of my life. Like 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes during the working day, and 1 hour in the evening. And like when you see it like this, it's not so much effort and you can do it.
And you can also grow the amount of time that you spend for it over weeks, months. Definitely it's worth to be in contact with yourself, to feel how those habits are actually landing on you in a way. And what you said about like you stopped doing something because you felt you didn't like it, or you continue to do something because you're actually in love with that, like meditation, is definitely a great approach. It reminds me of a positive reassurance. So since you did something, you got something back, the energy or a good feeling, and you want to reinvest into that again. And maybe this is how like the whole recurrence of habits might reassure you in that way.
True. And also like when you see that some habit, it could help you. For example, learning German words every day, but you cannot like stick it. For example, every time whenever I'm in S-Bahn, I will try 5 minutes to spend in Quizlets. I had this problem with consistency with meditation, even if I enjoy it. And now I have this pillow next to my table. Whenever I'm going to start my work, I can spend like 10 minutes for this and then start my work without makeup, but with meditation.
Yeah. It sets your mind in the right way in the beginning of the day. Yeah, right. Oh, I really admire your approach. I hope also to be consistent with my habits, but like overall, set your day in the morning right, and then the whole day gonna be just right for you. I want to ask you this last question, which is very important. So I can't stress enough how imposter syndrome actually plays out, a bad joke, with designers, with women in tech, overall with people. I also see that sometimes it's very difficult for women in tech be confident, act assertively and unapologetically in a way. And I wonder if you have experienced any imposter syndrome, and how is your journey from feeling like I'm not a good designer, I'm an imposter, and up to the feeling that, hey, I'm confident, I can do things, and here I am.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of this. I don't think that I have imposter syndrome. I'm just imposter. I'm just not good enough. And like if you will ask my manager, she can give you example why I'm not good enough to be promoted and so on. Like, just accept it. Yeah, I think our current approach in IT that is constantly like pushing people. You are like you are not enough. You are not enough.
For sure. Yeah, you're not enough.
Something that is my another goal for this year. That is like become more confident. And so I start brainstorming, checking some videos, and one of the idea which I really liked is like to understand who are you, like to understand, because like if you will ask me some question about myself, I would say, I don't know anything about myself, and like how can you judge yourself? Are you good or are you not good if you don't know yourself?
Exactly.
And maybe something to start with, just start from yourself. I also was like, maybe I need to ask my colleagues. At the same time, whenever I have this performance review and my colleagues providing like some feedback, you just see some like mirroring yourself from other people. It's not you. And maybe when they were writing it to you, they forgot something or they were mad at you. So it is not necessarily nice, important feedback for you. So first, let us understand who are you. What are you? How is your job? I'm back to therapy to find out for me ways to holding something more confident. Something that I have heard during the coaching sessions, that is okay not to be confident in something that you don't know. It's totally normal situation not to be confident. It's just for you accept it and grow. Yeah.
It's a growth area. It's like where you're still uncertain, but yet exciting, and you wanted to explore. It's very well put. For others to see you as a confident, first you have to meet yourself, know your strengths, know your growth areas, and so on. And one technique that I heard about and kind of try to do that as well is writing. In basically, you can put that on the paper or digital paper, the strengths, what you take full for, your little wins, bragging document, and so on. And just like take it. Do not hesitate to take your wins, to take your little and bigger achievements and say like, hey, it's me, or definitely with the help or in a team with some cool people.
True, totally agree. It's the area of improvement that I can do, or bring something to the therapy. I think it's important.
That sounds great. Maybe one book that I can recommend in the realm of therapy and self-help books is the book that's called The Child in You by Stephanie Stahl, the German therapist. I guess you're also aware of that.
I have heard about it.
I bought it in English. There is a website where you can get the overview of the book in German and in English, even the meditation audio from hers. It's a small one, but it's so helpful. Confidence, it comes also from the space of self-esteem, of knowing yourself, like we just said. And sometimes we have the inner child that might be hurt in the past, and right now is with us. And she's talking about the shadow child, so where you're acting from the place of your insecurities and fears and anxiety, and the sun child, where you're acting from the place where you're confident, when you want to connect with other people, when you bring in the joy and positivity. And it's so cool to learn how you can act more as a sun child.
Wow, I really like all of this concept. Something that came up during one of the coaching sessions, that just when I was a child, again, my inner child, how I was healing myself as a child, I was playing and making up some stories. And it was helping me a lot. And I enjoyed it a lot.
You were practicing storytelling as a designer from a longer time.
Maybe. Now, something what I also want to spend time to try to heal myself with some stories which I can make up and which is not related to design, to work, my life. I'm not going to publish it for myself. I formulated to be a researcher with writing a lot of text, which I research, not a writer.
That sounds very inspiring. And definitely it's very delicate when it comes to self-esteem and self-doubt and how to turn that actually into the power, to the confidence, into the place where you're uncertain, but you're dealing with uncertainty well, as also designers learn to do.
Yeah, true.
I also wanna ask you, how do you think the confident women in tech might be more visible, taken more seriously? Do you also experience that you convince people better, that you feel more empowered?
I think I'm lucky because around me there is a lot of women. My PO is woman, my colleague from Android and the PO is also a woman, my manager is a woman. It's really cool, and we have this approach, women support women, and becoming confident, it's so hard. It's so hard because in Ukraine we have less aggressive community working space, and we had a lot of bonding with our colleagues. I think I knew all of their life at this point, but here it's more aggressive, and I wish to have more support, to be honest. I wish to have space. Yeah, I think I shared even in my Instagram stories, women get a lot of work in IT which is not promoted. For example, I was handling a lot of responsibilities about buying some software for app, and of course it wasn't promoted because companies spend money. It's not good for them. And also it's all of this communication with procurement team. It also was hard. And event organization is usually also women are taking, and it's not
for sure some team building activities. Events.
I understood it in early stage in the company. That's why I'm not handling it at all.
That actually sounds quite reasonable. I also experienced once when the manager head of product suggest the only woman product owner to organize some team building activity, and it felt a bit ambivalent. It's cool to contribute, but also am I asking to do so because I'm a woman, because I have to nurture the team, or is there a way to establish other routine or other practice when we can have the schedule, the recurrence, and each of the team can contribute to that, to be the event host? Please spot that when you've been asked to do extra unpaid work as a woman, and reflect on that. And even if you cannot say a nice assertive no right away, take your time, think about that, talk to other women, talk to the mentors, and say, and next time, not saying no or yes right now, but talk to the person who suggested that a bit later, and talk your mind. It's okay also to say no and suggest something else, hey, I cannot take care of this and this, but I rather would push for my initiative and get visible there.
Really nice. Yeah, I think it should be a manager responsibility when the manager see that someone within the team to organize some event. I wanted to share in Flix we have a woman community specifically.
So is it a little community where women can take a part, and then they organize events for themselves?
Yes, and if I remember correctly, there was also some mentorship sessions specifically for women. So that Flix is going in this direction for supporting more women.
Very modern and nice approach that FlixBus takes.
I think that is someone from my women colleagues, female colleagues, come up with. So if you want, you can come up with such idea also in your company.
For sure. And staying together and empowering each other in that way. Thank you so much, Maria, for everything you shared, for your honesty, and also for the great topics that you brought and the sites I heard. It's just great to talk to somebody who is investing in personal branding, who's supporting Ukrainian community. Please do so, and please support women around, and also just consider all the ways that you can contribute meaningfully.
Thanks so much for having me. It was super nice.
That's great. I really enjoyed our talk.
Me too.
On this note, we're gonna say goodbye. Thanks for listening to this second episode of the Women Who Tech. Let me know what you think, and all the links and useful content that we should gonna be there in the description. And till next time.